Hello students, this is Professor Shelar Satish from Arsos Technical Campus. I am going to teach you the subject Fundamentals of Data Structure. Okay, let's start with unit number 1, that is Introduction to Algorithms and Data Structure. In this unit, we are going to study briefly about algorithm and various types of data structures. Okay, let's start with our presentation one by one. First of all, we are going to study what is problem and problem solving. First is what is problem. Problem is defined as situation or condition which needs to solve to achieve a particular goal. We have to study various types of situations or conditions which are used to solve the problem. Then we have to study what is the solution. A solution is a problem solving plan, that is a way to solve a particular problem. Then we have studied what is problem and what is solution. Then we have to study what is program. A program is a set of instructions that we give to a computer so that it will do a particular task. To understand what is the problem, we have to study various types of instructions and we have to give these instructions to the program or to the computer, that is called as set of instructions. Okay, then there are various types of steps which are used in the problem solving. That is, first define the problem. We have to define first what is the problem. Then we have to study that problem and we have to gather various types of data required to study that problem. Okay, then we have to decide effective solution for the problem. Okay, then implement and evaluate the solution. You have gathered various types of data to solve the problem. Then you have to implement that all steps that are required to solve the problem. Okay, then you have to review all the steps that you have studied in the problem solving, that is correct or not. Okay, these are the various definitions which are related to the problem, that is problem, solution, program and various steps to solve the problem. Okay, then we have to study what is data. What is data? Then data are the facts which are not processed or analyzed. That is raw material which is used to, which is not processed. Okay. Then information is obtained after processing the data and has been interpreted and analyzed. Means what? We collect our information from the data to get a knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is useful to take decisions and actions. We extract the knowledge from the data. We have to extract our meaningful information from the data, that is called as knowledge. Okay, these are the concepts related to data, information and knowledge. Okay, then there are two ways to solve the problem. Okay, problem solving techniques, that is algorithmic technique, and second one is flowchart. Okay, you have to study this one by one. First of all, we study this diagram, steps of problem solving process. In that diagram, first is define the problem, second is analyze the problem, third one is develop a plan, fourth is implement the plan, then fifth is evaluate the plan. That is, we have studied in this first slide steps in problem solving. This diagram is related to steps of the problem solving process. Okay, we have studied the first slide. Okay, then we will study what is algorithm. What is algorithm? A algorithm is defined as step-by-step procedure or method for solving a problem by computer in a finite number of steps. Finite number of steps means what? In steps, that is we can measure. Okay, then there is a diagram to study what is algorithm. We have to give some input, then this input is applied on set of rules to obtain the expected output from the given input, then we can get output. Okay, this is the algorithm. Then next, different characteristics of algorithms. First one is clear. Algorithm should be clear. Whatever algorithm you are going to write, that should be clear. You can understand that algorithm by using various steps. Okay. Second characteristic, well-defined inputs. If an algorithm says to take input, it should be well-defined inputs. All the inputs we are going to give in the algorithm, that should be well-defined. We should understand that inputs. Okay. Then well-defined outputs. We have to first decide which output we is going to generate by using various types of inputs. Okay. Then finiteness. The algorithm must be finite. We should not end up with infinite loops. There should be finite steps. Then algorithm should be feasible. Okay. It should be simple, generic, and practical. Then language independent. The algorithm should be language independent. By using various languages we should solve the algorithm. Okay, these are the various characteristics of the algorithm. Then there is a short example of algorithm to solve addition of numbers. Okay, first step is start, second is declare three integers a, b and c. A and b, these are the inputs. Okay, c is the output that should be generated after solving the program. Okay, then third one is define values of a and b, then add values of a and b. We have to apply the formula. Then store output of step 4 to c. Means what? The addition should store in c. Okay, then you have to print c, then stop. These are the various steps to solve the algorithm of addition of two numbers. Okay, these are the sequential steps to solve the algorithm. Which algorithm? To add two numbers and display the result. Okay, this is the example of algorithm. Okay, then various, there are two tools you can use to design algorithm. First one is flowchart and second is pseudocode. What is flowchart? Flowchart is a graphical representation of your algorithm. Okay, you can represent your algorithm by using various symbols, that is called as flowchart. Okay, various symbols you can use in the flowchart presentation. Okay, then what is pseudocode? It is simply an implementation of algorithm in the form of annotations and informative text written in plain English. In simple language, the pseudocode is the formal way to write a short code in your natural language and some programming steps. Okay, that is called as pseudocode. Means what? There should be some English language or some coding steps or some coding functions. In that function you can use various loops or various operators, various assignments. Okay, that is called as pseudocode. There are some symbols you can use in design of flowchart. First one is oval shape, that is used for terminator. Then diamond, that is used for decision. Okay, then circle, that is used for connector, then parallelogram, okay, then hexagon, parallelogram used for input or output, and hexagon is used for preparation, then rectangle for your process, okay, then flow line for to indicate your design flow of the algorithm. That is, all these symbols are used in the design of flowchart. Okay, this is also related to that symbols of flowchart, that is start, process, decision, input, output, connector, and flow line. Okay, that is repeated slides are there. This is the example of your flowchart. First one is start. Okay, that is oval shape. Okay, then your rectangular step. Okay, input and output. Then process, parallelogram. Then again input. Okay, that is rectangle. Then parallelogram. Display sum. Then stop. These are the various symbols are used in the your flowchart. Okay. Then what is pseudocode? You have studied, or I have just explained you what is pseudocode. It's a simpler implementation of algorithm in the form of informative text written in plain English and annotations. Okay. Then we study what is advantages of pseudocode. First one is it's one of best approach to start implementation of algorithm. Okay, you can start implementation of algorithm by using pseudocode. Then it acts as bridge between the program and algorithm or flowchart. Okay, the main goal of pseudocode is to explain what exactly line of program should do, hence making the code construction phase easier for program. It makes easier to design a program by using simple English language or some looping steps or some programming steps. You can understand what to do or how to construct the program code. Okay, that is pseudocode. Okay, I have just again explained that pseudocode. Okay, in pseudocode you can define various method declarations. Okay, algorithm name, parameter 1, parameter 2, that is various attributes you can pass from the function. Okay, the decision structures, various decision structures I can mention in pseudocode, that is if else, if then else, nested if else. Okay, then while loops, that is while loop, do while loop, then repeated loops. Okay, then for loops. Okay, then array indexing. Okay, then various codes I can also mention in the pseudocode. Okay, then various return values can also I can explain in the pseudocode, and various types of assignment operators or logical operators I can also mention them. Okay, then what is complexity? What is complexity? The complexity is the measure of efficiency. We can measure our efficiency of the algorithm in the form of complexity. That is the definition of complexity. We have to measure our algorithm by using complexity. There are two types of complexity. First one is space complexity, and second one is time complexity. First is space complexity. Space complexity of an algorithm defined as the amount of space required to store an algorithm. Okay, or amount of time required for the algorithm is called a time complexity. Amount of time required is time complexity, and amount of space required is the space complexity. Okay, these are the two concepts related to the your efficiency of the algorithm. Okay, that is time efficiency and space efficiency. Okay, then there are various cases of analysis of algorithm, that is worst case, best case, and average case. These are the three cases which are used in analysis of algorithm. First one is base case. In base case, minimum steps required means what? If there is a one problem, if it requires minimum steps, then it is base case. Okay. Then if it requires maximum number of steps, then it is called as worst case. And if it requires average steps to solve that problem, then it is called as average case. Okay. These are the various cases to analyze the algorithm. Okay. Then these analysis of algorithm or various cases you can use by using asymptotic notations. Asymptotic notations are the languages that allows us to analyze the algorithm. We have to analyze these algorithms by using various notations. These notations are also called as growth rate. Also called as a algorithms growth rate. We can measure by the algorithms growth rate by using various notations. These notations are, first one is theta notation, second one is big O notation, and third one is omega notation. We will see in brief in the next lecture about these notation. So let's stop here. Thank you.